Breaking news coming in. The Gujarat Assembly has passed an anti-terror bill called Gujarat Control of Terrorism and Organised Crime Bill 2015. The anti-terror bill has been in the eye of a storm for its stringent provisions. We're being told that Congress MLAs abstained from voting since they are opposed to various controversial clauses of the bill. Let's get a word from Darshan, Mail Today correspondent, who's with us on the phone line from Ahmedabad. Darshan, could you take us through details of this bill and why and what are the provisions which the Congress is protesting against?
Basically, this entire controversy started soon after the 2002 riots, when the Narendra Modi government passed a bill called Gujarat Control of Organised Crime Act.
All right.
This bill was rejected by President APJ Abdul Kalam that time. His objection was that that the bill allowed intercepted calls as admissible evidence in a court of law. Okay, so it was then it was again passed in 2008, where the Gujarat government dropped this interception clause.
Okay.
But this was rejected this time by Pratibha Patil, because her objection was that it allowed that any concession you made before a police official will be admissible evidence.
All right.
So it was rejected because of that. And third time in 2009, the government simply ignored Pratibha Patil's suggestion and passed the bill again. And the bill is still pending with the president. And now, even before the president signs on that 2009 bill, today this thing has come again in another avatar, the Gujarat Control of Terrorism and Organised Crime Bill.
Right, but Darshan, the Gujarat government will have to again send it to the president for approval.
So 2009 they had sent it, that is still pending with the president's office. And now they have come with this law which has a different name, and they are passing it again.
All right, so what happens now onwards? We're being told that the Congress has been opposed to this bill for quite some time. This time when the bill was tabled in the Assembly, they abstained from voting. What happens from now onwards?
Now I think once again it would go to the President's office for approval.
All right, Darshan, thanks so much for taking us through this development. The big story we're tracking, the Gujarat Assembly has passed an anti-terror bill called the Gujarat Control of Terrorism and Organised Crime Bill 2015. Mail Today's Darshan is with us on the phone line, and he's explaining to us how previously as well this bill has been tabled by the government and rejected by the president, by two consecutive presidents because of provisions that they found to be slightly unfair. Let's get a word from our senior editor Gaurav Sawant, who's with us live this afternoon. Gaurav, can you take us through exactly what this bill is about and why is it that it has been rejected by the president on two occasions?
It was rejected in the past on two different occasions because the center-state relationship was not on an even keel. That was the impression that was given out both times in the past, whether it was President APJ Abdul Kalam or then President Pratibha Devi Singh Patil. This was rejected twice, even though since BJP have the numbers in the Gujarat State Assembly. This is a bill that aims to target not just organized crime but also terror. This isn't exactly the Prevention of Terror Act or POTA, but it's a harsh bill that gives the police, that gives the state certain powers. For example, the state can intercept phone calls, the state can record phone calls of people it suspects. Now the center found objectionable, or this led to its rejection in the past. Not only that, police custody in a normal case, whether it's 15 days, in this case it's 30 days. The public prosecutor can recommend 180 days of police custody. So these are certain aspects of this bill that were found by some to be draconian, but according to the Gujarat government in the past and now, this is this is required, this is the need of the hour in the face of terror and organized crime, and often it is interlinked that not just the state of Gujarat but several other states also face. So Gujarat came up with this bill. The state assembly passed it 4 times in the past. The centre, the president on the advice of the centre rejected it.
Right, Gaurav, but
remains
we were
seen
speaking
what
to
will
Mayor
be the
today's
case
Darshan,
now.
and he said that the 2012 version of the bill is still pending approval before the president, and that same bill is now being put out with another name.
Yes, so now it remains to be seen what advice does the president get from the Ministry of Home Affairs. And now, with the BJP government at the centre, they have the numbers, there is no coalition pressure. So, depending on the advice of the Ministry of Home Affairs, it is up to the president to accept this bill or not. So, that hurdle, that centre-state relationship hurdle, will not come in the way of the bill this time.
All right,
Simi.
Gaurav, we're going to come back to you in just a bit. We're getting some more reactions from Ahmedabad. Let's cross live.
दूसरी यूपीए की थी, तो यही दिखाता है कि मंशा सही नहीं है, आतंकवाद के खिलाफ लड़ना नहीं है। विधायक या बिल लाके कानून जो बन नहीं सके ऐसे कानून की बात करके वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स करना चाहते हैं। सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से कॉन्ट्ररी कानून स्टेट गवर्नमेंट नहीं बना सकती और यही प्रोविजन है। पुलिस कस्टडी में अगर कोई अपना बयान दे, इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट नेशनल कानून कहता है कि पुलिस कस्टडी में वो जो एक्यूज कहता है उसे एविडेंस नहीं माना जाएगा। कोर्ट को अधिकार दिया, यहाँ कोर्ट के पास से अधिकार लेके पुलिस को अधिकार, पुलिस कस्टडी में जो भी एक्यूज बोलेगा वो एविडेंस माना जाएगा। मैं मानता हूँ ये किसी कानून की नहीं मिल सकती है। इस देश में हिंदू मुसलमान भाई भाई बन के रहते हैं, एक ख्वाब दिखाते हैं। गुजरात में जब आतंकवादी नहीं आते थे, मोदी जी कहते थे कोई माइका लाल आतंकवादी यहाँ कदम रख के दिखा दे, और तुरंत सिविल हॉस्पिटल में बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हुए। तो ऐसी बात करके गुमराह करके वोट बैंक की पॉलिटिक्स के लिए आज मुझको मिल आया, इसका हमने विरोध किया। जब हमारी बात नहीं मानी गई, टेक्निकली हमने जो बात समझाई वो भी सरकार ने नहीं मानी, तो हमने आज वॉकआउट किया है।
Like the opposition, Congress saying that this is a draconian law which puts the onus of proving the innocence of an accused, that puts the onus of proving the innocence of an accused on the accused. Basically, it goes against the premise of an individual is innocent until proven guilty. It actually reverses that entire argument. This is a law that was first introduced by the Gujarat government. It was rejected by the president first in 2004 and then in 2008. Presidents APJ Abdul Kalam and Pratibha Patil respectively, who had suggested some amendments in the provisions. Gaurav, what are the arguments in favor of this bill, considering that phone interceptions and confessions made before the police are areas that have been criticized widely, and which is one of the reasons why POTA was also repealed?
That's right. These are the two arguments against, but the Gujarat government is of the opinion that you need strong laws to deal with terror and organized crime. Shakti Singh Gohel was talking about terror attacks in Gujarat. It's the same argument that the Gujarat government has been given, that after the 2008 Ahmedabad terror attacks, because there was a strong effort to weed out terror, there hasn't been a subsequent terror attack in the state of Gujarat. That is because the intelligence apparatus and the state machinery went to the root of the problem, and the first major raids against the Indian Mujahideen terror group started after the Ahmedabad blast of 2008. So that is the argument of the Gujarat government. It depends which way do you want to argue this case. The Gujarat government and the security community of the country has constantly been of the opinion you need strong laws to deal with terror, with organized crime, and often organized crime and terror, as we've seen in the case of Dawood Ibrahim and the 1993 Mumbai blast, organized crime, smuggling and terror are interlinked.
Gaurav, thanks so much for taking us through what exactly this bill means now after its passage for the third time in the State Assembly. The bill, remember, is still pending for clearance before the President. Human rights activists have strongly condemned it on several occasions. We also saw State Congress leaders addressing a presser criticizing it. We'll continue tracking developments. A short break here. Lots more lined up.